Oh, this is Team Scubout with a special, unique deck that someone asked me to do.
So this was kind of a fever dream one night that I just went, I wonder if ninjas and phantom knights work together. And then I tested it for a couple hours and then 2 weeks and got it to work. So your primary play is going to Easthold, so you have to have your starters. So we've got 3 jump forward, 3 butter spy. This is a really good level 4 for the deck. And really helps out a lot in your link plays. The primary crux of the combo is started, generally speaking, by getting a Phantom Knight to graveyard. So we play 3 gloves, 3 cloak, 3 boots. We play one of the level 4 Phantom Knights that we'll get to later, just as a Xyz monster. And then for our ninjas, we've got 2 Upstart Goldens, 2 Hanzos. Both of these are at 2 because you don't want to draw them, but you want, if you do, you want another copying deck. Players, that is time. Here's the current phase.
Yeah, but go ahead. It's not
We've got our 2 scales that help us summon Getsuga. We've got our 2 scales that help us summon Getsuga. All 3 of these are searchable off Hanzo, and when you summon Easthold, you search either the high or the low scale. We've got that level 4 PK I mentioned. He's generally speaking just used to make Redoer, or for link plays. We have 1 Zephyros. We'll get to why we play him later. We have 3 Called by the Grave. You don't play any hand traps just because you want to combo off and you want to stop your opponent from stopping you. We play the 1 Rank Up Magic Quick Launch to go into Azathoth. 1 Rhoda, generally speaking, to get one of your combo pieces. Monster Reborn because it just helps you combo. And then for our Easthold targets, we've got Overdone Burial. This is actually amazing because it works with both Jogan and Getsuga to summon another Hanzo and activate his effect again. DDR is similar because you discard a card, banish 2 of them off of Divine Sword Phoenix Blade, and then you can use this to summon one of the cards you banish. Living Fossil, it's another Monster Reborn. Moon Mirror Shield you can add back to deck, and Phoenix Blade you can add to. For the traps we play, all but one of them is a combo piece. So we play 3 of this because we don't mind seeing it in hand. It's actually really good. And then we play 2 revival cards. One of these could be a Fog Blade, but it's genuinely not necessary. We play 1 Wings, 1 Sword. These are used specifically to summon our Fragile Armor. And then one of the star cards of the deck, Imperial Order, which you send to the graveyard with Curios.
Yeah, like say goodbye spice.
Yeah. Yeah, you say goodbye spells, goodbye monsters. Have a nice life. That is at least the goal of the deck.
Kevin, did you win or lose?
I won.
Kevin won.
And then let's get this cleaned up. And then for our extra deck, I want to fit a cowboy in here somewhere.
Oh,
Still not sure where.
When you guys think?
For our first card, we have Space Insulator. You play quite a few light warriors, so he's an important step into Rusty Bardiche. 1 Easthold, Heart and Soul of the deck. It lets you do dumb things. This card should be banned. Summon Sorceress, another card that should be banned. She helps you extend, and she usually either gets you gloves or the level 4 Phantom Knight, whichever you really need at the time. Technically speaking, it is almost always better to summon gloves, but depending on your hand, it might not be. Curios, who we make to send Imperial Order to the graveyard, and then we make a Griffin to set it. Rusty Bardiche, which gets you your quick play spell to go into Azathoth later. There's also a Phoenix here. I forgot to grab it real quick. So you play a Nightmare package. You play 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn, 1 Griffin. Griffin is used in the combo, and Cerberus and Phoenix are more so to just kill your opponent going turn 3. You play 1 Breaksword because you're playing PKs, and sometimes you just have to go into it. 1 Forstrix. This is integral because it searches the Zephyros, and then you generally discard Zephyros and go into Redoer. It's the 3rd type you need to make Curios, and that is why we play it.
Please.
We've got 2 Redoers. Sometimes you also just end up playing Control with this card. So it's one of the reasons we run 2. The other reason is it's just 2400, you could definitely run one, turn the other one into a cowboy, and then as a thought, and we're also playing a Boral mode that is not in here, unfortunately. To show a basic combo with the deck, I'll show the most optimal one. It's a 3-card combo that gets you all the way through things. That you start with 3 cards. So if you start with these 3 cards, and like a Called by the Grave, you're next to guaranteed to actually just win. So you start by summoning the Jump Forward, then you summon your Phantom Knights of Shadow Brigade, and then since you have a Phantom Knight monster, you can special summon him. This is pretty important because it leaves your normal summon open for Getsuga later, which just is better than Pendulum summoning him because that requires starting one of the scales. And then from that point, you go into Isolde and add one of the scales. I usually add the high scale. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So I usually add Kagan. That's our first card. And then we activate Isolde's second effect, sending our spells to the graveyard. Generally speaking, the one I like to keep in deck if I haven't drawn any is the Overdone Burial, because as I said, it just gets you another Hanzo and is just really good. And then from that point, you summon a Golden Upstart Ninja, or an Upstart Golden Ninja, excuse me. And then after that, you use the Silent Boot you started with to search one of your revival traps, so you banish him. And I usually add Phantom Knight's Sword because I feel like it's the worst one out of the two, just because Wings is more efficient overall. Then you activate Upstart Golden Ninja effect, summoning your Hanzo. Hanzo effect activates now to add Getsuga, the big boy we mentioned before. And then you use Hanzo or Upstart, it doesn't really matter which, to go into Summon Sorceress. Use Summon Sorceress effect. The Summon Gloves. Then you tribute your Upstart Golden Ninja, summon Getsuga. Then you flip him to defense, get both of these ninjas. And then you use Hanzo effect again, search for other scale, which is only really particularly useful when you have another ninja in here because they stop you from, because Kagan stops you from summoning, Pendulum summoning anything except ninjas.
No, he's closing us up. After the.
And then I may have messed up like the board order a little bit, but then you go into your Rusty Bardiche using the gloves to get Suga and the Hanzo. We'll move these over here to summon our Rusty Bardiche. Then we'll activate Rusty Bardiche effect.
You guys? Is that where you guys are?
Sending the level 4.
Right, so you're gonna be late?
Setting your magic launch.
No, I forgot this. That's why I came out.
I believe in you.
I'll get it back.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. It's quite alright. Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay. Now, we go into our graveyard and banish the sword to summon Fragile Armor. And I suppose we would have to use that. Again, positioning matters. You don't want to use this, you want to use these two, so this doesn't get banished. And because he's a light, not a dark. Then you go into Force Strix, use Force Strix effect to search Zephyros. We'll discard him later. And then we use Gloves effect to send our other revival card. To banish Wings to summon Fragile Armor. And then we link 3 into Kyrios. Use his effect to send Imperial Order. I think we are 1 card short, unfortunately. That's usually what happens, honestly. And then we mill 3. So there are various ways to get to more monsters. Generally speaking, the other 2 cards in your hand would have gotten you all the way there. We're short 1 monster right now, but that's pretty fixable by just saying we had a ninja in hand. Make Griffin, discarding the Zephyros to set the order. And then you would set up a scale, return it to hand, summon the Zephyros, and then, as I said, you probably just have a ninja or another extender in hand, whether it be Butter Spy or just an extra one of Shape Brigadines, because when you resummon Golden Ninja off Getsuga, you can also discard that. So we'll just say we had another one, because 9 times out of 10 you do. You make Redoer, banish him till end phase, and then you have your board set up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye for now.